Dear student, welcome to my channel. This is the 26th video on C programming, and in this video we are going to continue the exercises on one dimensional array. So in this video I am going to cover these exercises. Now let us start. Program to print largest element in an array and its position. So to do this program, what we require to do, we require to first accept the array size. Now see, first we will accept the array size, then we require to accept the element, and array index always starts with a 0. So for I equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. Now here I am giving open and closing parenthesis for the for loop. Why? Because two statements are there, enter the value and scanf, and we are accepting that value into the array's location. So location starts with a 0. So if we accept the 5 values, that will goes from 0 to 4. Now I am just printing that values, therefore elements are, so it will print the line, and after that again single element is not present, so again I have to use loop. For I equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, and I have printed the elements. So this is a program where we are just accepting the element and printing the element. Now we require to go for the largest number concept. Now how to find out the largest number? Now see, here in this program I have copied this whatever the main logic here, and I will explain with the help of example. Now see, I have taken 5, then after that I have accepted these 5 elements, 12, 34, 555, 32. Now what is the largest element? Largest element is this, and location is third. Now important to understand is that in array its location is 2, but we are incrementing by 1 because we never start the counting from 0, but generally we start counting from 1, so it is present at the third location. Now how to do this program? Now initially large equal to array 1D of 0, so whatever the first element we have accepted, I make to the large, so first element becomes large. Now see, large becomes, these are the values, so initially large equal to 12 and position equal to 0. As we consider the first element as large, so there is no need to start the loop from the first element, so I have started the loop from I equal to 1. Now see, I equal to 1, I is less than n, I plus plus. Now this is opening bracket and this is the closing bracket. Now what we require to do? Now we will take the next element 34. Now 34 we will compare with the large element. Now see, 34 is greater than large. Now see, 34 is greater than this large, yes. Then what we require to do? Some changes. What to changes? That you replace this large and make this large. Now see, if 34 array of 1D is greater than large, that is 34 is greater than 12, we are going to make change. What change? That is large equal to array of 1D, that is this element is 34, so we are assigning to the large, and we are check that position is I plus 1 because this element may be the largest element. Position equal to I plus 1. Now the position of 34 is actually, according to array, it is 1, but we are taking as a 2, that's why I have used I plus 1 only. Next iterations takes place. Now the large is 34, so next element came is a 555. Now we will check 555 is greater than 34, yes. Then again it will goes to the loop, it will make large is equal to 555 and position is 3. Next element will comes as 3. Now whether 3 is greater than 555, no, it will not go into the, it will never go into the if condition. Next is 2 is greater than 555, no, so it will not go into the if condition. So the highest value remain as 555 at the location 3, and after that we are printing largest element is at percentage D at position percentage D. Now here two ways are there, either you can write down position equal to I, and when you are printing the position you can do position plus 1, so that can be also possible. Now the next program is of smallest. Now smallest, for this is a very common logic because we require to accept the size, accept the array elements, and print the array elements. Now print the array elements is optional, but it is better to print the elements so that we can get the glimpse that how the actually the whether the number are accepted properly or not, and even when the answer is wrong we can easily cross check. Now here the same logic is there. Now I will again explain with the example. See, these 5 elements we have accepted, 12, 4, 3, 2, 90. Now we will make this element as a small element. Now see, small is equal to array 1D of 0, that is whatever the element at 0th location it assigned to the small, and after that position is equal to 0. Now we will start with the for I equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. Now this will become. Now what we are doing, we will check this fourth element. This is the next element, whether 4 is less than 12. This condition is satisfied. No, this condition will not be satisfied. Sorry, 4 less than 12. This condition is satisfied. Sorry, 4 less than 12. This condition is satisfied. So what we require to do? We require to, because new element that is coming is small than the existing small. So we are going into the if condition and we will change the small. So this small will become 4 and its position is changed to the 2. Now next time which element will come? 3. Now our condition is 3 less than 4. Yes, this condition satisfy because whatever the new element is small than the current small element. So again we will change. So make small becomes 3. Now the next element will come 2. 2 less than 3. Yes, condition satisfied. It will again change. So small becomes 2 at the position 4. Now next 90 element comes. Now the condition will not satisfy. That is 90 is less than 2 because whatever the new coming element is not smaller than the existing element. So smallest becomes element becomes 2 only. That is, it will retain, it will not change here, and it will print the output that the smallest element 2 at position 4. Now the next program is to program to find the second largest element in an array. Now what is the second largest element? For example, if this is the 12 4 3 2, then largest element is 90 and second largest element is 12. So we require to do the program like this. Now here it is actually 6. Oh, that is by mistake, but it is 6. Largest elements are 3 55 67 260 553. Now see, now you check the basically logic, because here in loop I have printed the value to check whether it is working correctly or not. Otherwise the logic is same. Now see, in last program where you make only the one large, now we require to make the two large. Now see, here we are making the two large. So whatever this large one is the largest and this is the second largest. So it is the first largest and it is the second largest, and we want to find out the second largest. Now we will take the first element and this is the second element from the array. Now what we are keeping that in mind, that this is the largest element, so it should be always large and it should be next largest element. So it may happen that here in this case in large 1 and large 2 may be greater, so at that time we require to change. So before loop starts we require to do the iteration, that is if large 2 is greater than large, then we require to do the swapping. Why swapping? Because in our assumption is that large 1 always greater than the large 2. So here as large 2 is greater than large 1, because we are taking the first, for example 3 and 55. So in 3 and 55, which is the largest element? 55. So we are going to the swap operation. So this is the first operation. So when we do this operation, then our large 1 will come as 55 and large 2 come as 3. Now we will go into the loop. Now see clearly, we will start the loop with 2. Why? Because first two elements are already there. Make as a large 1 and large 2. Now for I equal to 2, I is less than n, I plus plus. What we will do? Now we will do comparison twice. For example, if this next element from the array is greater than large 1, because we already check the large 1 is greater than large 2. Now we will check whether third element is greater than large 1, then we require to make the changes. Now these two lines are very important, that's why don't remember the program but remember the logic. So at this time what we require to do? We require to do the shifting. Now see, next element came as 67 and it is compared with the 55 because 55 become our large 1. Now we require to do the shifting. So how we are doing the shifting? So whatever the large 1, now it becomes the large 2, because this becomes the largest element and this becomes the second largest element. So large 1 is assigned to the large 2. Now large 1 is free. It is assigned to, not it is not actually free, it contains the same value, but now we are doing the overwriting, and array 1D is copied into the large 1. So this is the one situation. It may happen that this element, the next element which will come, which is not greater than large 1 but it may greater than the large 2. So in that case only we require to change the large 2. So if array 1D I is greater than large 2, then only we are making this operation, because large 1 is not going to change, that is large 2 equal to array of 1D I. This is the for else condition, only one statement is there. So there is actually no need of opening and closing bracket, but for the simplicity I have given this opening and closing parenthesis. Now this in loop I am printing to check whether I am getting the correct answer or not. That's why you are getting this answer, that is it is actually 6755. 6755. It is just checking the intermediate answer, and after that it will print the element after the loop. So this is the option statement, and after the loop, this is the end of the for loop, it will print the large element, second largest element. Now see, I have explained with the loop. This is by mistake printed, it is actually by. Now see, 3 and 55. Initially large one is 3, large 2 is 55. So before the loop we will make large one 55 large. That is nothing but our swapping operation. So directly we loop starts with the 67. So 67 will be compared with the large one. Large one is 55, 67. Yes, we require to make two changes. So we will do first large 2 as a 55 and then large 1 as a 67. Next element will come as a 2. So when 2 comes, there will be no change because it is not greater than large 1 and it is not greater than large 2. Next 60 element comes. Now see, 60 is not greater than 67 but it is greater than 55. So that second else condition gets executed. So program writing is very easy, only you require to understand the concept. So here also there is no need of opening closing parenthesis, only for easy understanding I have given this. Now there is no need to explain the second smallest, only we require to do what, that is instead of greater than sign we require to do the small less than sign. That is the concept here. And here this is what, that we require to make small one as the smallest element. So if small one is greater than small 2, we require to change. Yes, why? Because small one should be the smallest element, so it should be small than small 2. But if it is not, we are swapping. Otherwise the program is same for the second largest and second smallest, only in loop instead of greater than sign it will come as a less than sign. But you have to run the program as a dry run to check whether it is working or not. Now see, this is nothing but the condition, this is nothing but the logic, that is how we are building the program. So whatever we are thinking, that is just transferred to the program. Now in for loop I have taken already this program, a program to convert decimal number into binary. But what was problem there? We are printing continuously remainder. For example, we are printing the answer as a 0011, but actually answer is from this side, that is 1100. So even array is not there, it is very difficult to print the answer in reverse. So that's why with the array the answer is very simple, but only you require to understand this important statement. So see, number is 12. So when we convert a given decimal number to the binary, we divide by 2. So 12 divided by 2, quotient is 6, remainder is 0. So we are printing the remainder. So here we want to reprint the remainder like 1100. So I am storing into the array. So a of I equal to r. Now see, initially I should be 0. So in array it will be stored as the first location 0. Then we are making I plus plus. Why I plus plus? Because we want to store the next element at the I plus 1 location. So in the loop only we are doing the I plus plus. Then for continuation we are making n equal to q, because number is reduced. Now number becomes 6. Now 6 divided by 2, quotient 3, remainder 0. It will store into the next location I increment 3. Now 3, quotient is 1, remainder is 1. This one. Then see, now when we come out of the loop, see here when n becomes 0 we will come out of the loop. When we come out of the loop, you just check the value of I. What is the value of I? 4. But actually in how many locations the value are stored? 0, 1, 2, 3. So we require the decrement the value of I. That is only the logic in this program. Now see, accept the decimal for I equal to 0. This is already we covered in a for loop and while loop. Only we have not stored the value of this remainder into the array. Whatever, we just print the value of remainder. That's why we print the reverse answer. So for I equal to 0, this is the initial condition, n accepted, so there is no need of initialization. N is not equal to 0, n equal to n by 2, I plus plus. Now we will store a of I equal to n mod 2. So is only single statement is there, so there is no need of opening and closing bracket. so it will store I and immediately it will do the I plus plus. So initially it will store in the 0, then when this step execute it will make I plus plus. So like this is I plus plus. So when it will come out of the loop, at that time it already make the I equal to 4, because when it make the I equal to 4 and not equal to 0, then it will come out of the loop. If you are confused, then better you use the while loop here also, because in while loop understanding is very clear. Now I have printed the value of I, which becomes 4, but our values are stored from where to where? From 0 to 3, and we want to print the array in a reverse manner. So first I make the I minus minus, I greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. Where there is a greater than sign, there is always decrement, because we are going from this side. So I greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus, we are printing the value of I. So it will print as a 1100. Next program, same program, only convert decimal number to octal. So what we require to do? Divide by 8. So I have written this program with the while loop for better understanding. Quotient, remainder is stored in array, then we make the I plus plus and n equal to q. So only for the spacing purpose I have written the lines on a same line. Even it is okay to write the multiple lines on the same line, because it is understood by this semicolon operator, that is the end of the statement in a program. Then again I have decremented I and I have printed the value, and now we can see that the answer is printed in a correct order. Now next program is convert a decimal number to hexadecimal. So here only 16, 16, 16, but when these values are stored in array, what will happen? 0 to 9 is okay, but after 10 we require to print which value? We require to print A, B, C, D, E, F. So what we are making? Switch case is a better solution for I minus minus. I is greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. If it is less than 9, directly print. Otherwise we are going into the switch case. Now see, if A of I is less than 9, only single statement, no need of opening and closing parenthesis. In else multiple statements are there. So this is the else, sorry, this is the main end of the program. This is the else, this is the switch, and in switch we are writing the cases, and break is compulsory. Otherwise what will it will print? If it is matches the B, it will print all B, C, D, F. So I have already covered this program in for loop. Only I am using here only two new lines, this and I plus plus, and I am printing in a reverse way. And this is nothing but the logic understanding, that how each and every line of the program is executing. Now this is again very easy to understand. I will explain with the help of logic only. A program to check whether the array elements form a palindrome sequence or not. For example, if we accept the array this, then this is palindrome. Why? Because if we write down in forward direction, it will print 11011, and in the reverse direction also it will print 11011. So here this is the no need to explain. You require to accept the size, accept the array elements, print the array elements. Now this is the logic. Now here again we require to use the flag, because if condition match, then we want to continue, otherwise we want to break from the loop. And if we break from the loop, we will never come to know whether we break from the loop and or when the loop ends we come out of the loop. So at that time we are using the flag condition. So flag condition I have already explained in my nested programs, nested while for loop programs, as well as simple while and for loop programs. Now see how it happens. For example, we accept the number 1 2 3 3 to 1. This is palindrome number, because when we write down in forward direction, it will print 1 2 3 3 to 1, and in the reverse direction also it will print 1 2 3 3 to 1. Now I have using the 2 pointers. Now see, initially I make the I at 0th location, because in array elements are stored from 0 to 0th location. So these 6 numbers will be stored from 0 to 5th. So my initially I counter is at 0th location and j counter is at n minus 1. See, I equal to 0, j equal to n minus 1. We don't know the final condition. I will explain why this is I is less than or equal to j. Now we will compare 0 or 5. What is the 0th location? 0th location is 1, 5th location is 1. They are match. So if they are match, we want to continue. So if array 1D of I location is j location, we are comparing. If they equal, we want to continue, but if they are not equal, then we require to break. For example, if this number is 5, then forward and backward is not same. So if they are not same, what we are doing, we are making flag equal to 1. Now just understand, initially flag is 0, but when the elements are not matched at the opposite location, flag becomes 1 and we will break. Break is not always from the loop, not from the if. So when we make the break, we will come out of the loop. Now when we come out of the loop, flag is 1, so it will print it is not palindrome sequence. But now see, our 1 and 1 match, so it will not go into the loop. It will, what it will do, it will do I plus plus and j minus minus. I becomes 1, j becomes 4. So we are now comparing these two elements. They are matched, yes, we are not going into the if condition. Then we will next make I increment and j decrement. Now I becomes 2 and j becomes 3. Now I becomes 2 and j becomes 3. 3 3 match, right? 3 3 match. Then again we will not go into the if condition, we will continue. Now from here we will come to know that half of the parts got checked, so there is no need. Even you take the odd number and will take check. See, for example, 1 to 1 to 1. So first it will match, I have to check 1 to 1 are right. This match, yes, flag becomes 0 only. This match. Now next is become what? I's become 2 and j becomes 2 only. So this condition that they are match. So after that we don't want to continue. So where up to what we want to continue? Until the value of I reaches to the j. So when our condition is odd numbers are there, then at that time this condition will match. And next time the condition becomes the 3-2 condition like. So when you write down your own logic, it will be you understood. So I is less than or equal to j, we have to continue the loop, and I plus plus and j minus, because 1 point we are increasing. So initially see, this is I and this is j, match, yes, increment. This is I, j decrement, this is j, match, yes. Then I and j, match, yes. After that we don't want to check. That's why it is what? I is less than or equal to j. Because next time what it will happens, that unnecessary we are moving into the loop. If flag equal to 0, it becomes a palindrome sequence, not palindrome sequence. Now next program is very easy. A program to check whether array elements are in arithmetic progression or not. Now if the array elements are accepted like this, if common difference is 2, it is arithmetic progression. If common difference is not 2, it is not in arithmetic progression. So it may happen that up to these elements the difference is 2, but last element may be 11. So again we require to use which operator? Flag. Whenever the difference comes 3, break from the loop. So if absolute array, now we require to take the difference. So difference array 1d minus array 1di, I have taken the absolute operator. So for that I require to use the file stdlib. Stdlib file I have to include in .h. Why? Because this absolute function contains the stdlib. This absolute function is included in stdlib h header file. Now we take the difference of this element and it's the next element. Now see how, what is the logic understanding. Now see, when we are at the 2, we are comparing the next element. When we are at the 4, we are comparing the 6th element. When we are at the 6, we are comparing the 8th element. But we should not go to the else loop. So here we don't want to go up to last element, because when we go to the last element, what is the next element to check? So that's why this is a logic, that is I less than n minus 1. So when we are at 6 location, we are comparing the next element. So there is no need to go up to last. So the loop starts with I equal to 0. I is less than n minus 1. That's why we are comparing I and I plus 1. So that is nothing but the logic building, that where to start the loop, where to end the loop, how we are comparing, how we are writing the statement. Now see, up to this program, that is accepting the elements, this is nothing but very easy, that is accepting the elements whatever. After that we require to think, and we have to understand that there is a need of flag, because we will never come to know that whether we break the loop or we will come out of the loop after normal execution. This is very easy. A program to calculate the sum of prime elements present in an array. So I have already taken the program of prime number. So this program will become the prime program for the nested loop, because the numbers are continuously coming. only in my previous program we are using the for loop, so continuous elements are there, but here the whatever now I have taken that straight line elements, that is 1 to 9, but in array you can enter the elements of your choice, and for every element it will decide. So it is nothing but basically what nested while or nested for loop to determine the prime set of prime numbers, set of numbers whether they are prime or not prime. So if you understood the logic for that, so that video I have published in I guess video number 23. So if you understood that program, this program is very easy. Now see, for I equal to 0, I is less than n minus 1, I plus plus. I should take actually 1 minute. Yeah, small mistake from my side, that's why for it is not showing the last number, that's why I forgot, but it should be less than n because we require to consider each and every element. Sorry, yeah. Here if last element is prime then it will show, but that's why mistake. It here we require to iterate all times. I equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, because I am copying the program from previous, now that's why this n minus 1 reflected here. Now what we require to do, if that array element is 1 or 2, by default we are printing the prime number. See, this is the logic. If that number comes from the array, they are either 1 or 2, I am printing they are the prime number. After the third we are checking the condition. So else, so now every time it is very difficult to take array 1di, array 1di, and the program becomes unnecessarily complicated. So what to use, I have used num equal to array 1di. So whatever the third number, I have copied to the number, and after that this is the same loop of our prime number, that we will start with j equal to 2. Now we can't start with I because I is already going, so j equal to 2, j is less than or equal to number by 2, j plus plus. If it is divide, flag equal to 0, break. If not, flag remains 0. If flag remains 0, that number is prime. The logic is same, only here we did 3 versions. First only for the prime number, single prime number, after that prime number from the for loop, and this is nothing but what, prime number from the array elements. Only the condition, this is should be less than n, not less than n minus 1. So this is the initial step we require. Accept the size, accept the array elements, print the array elements for the simplicity. So, and after that this you require to do. So when you write down the program, first you check these things whether it is working properly or not. If you are getting the answer, then only you can start to write down this important loop. So this is all about the array program. So in the next video again I am going to continue with the next set of array exercises. Thank you.